As seen in the last episode, the Tirtha Kshetras, that is the pilgrim centers, temples, ashrams, etc., all over the country are getting crowded with the devotees. But we have also seen the attitude of a huge majority of such devotees. So busy have people become, none have time to sit back and take stock of outcomes of such visits. It becomes a win-win situation when devotees prefer to indulge in sense pleasures after a visit to the temple. All stand to gain: the devotees, the temple management, the shopkeepers, hotel industries, transport system, local economy, etc. So much so that the government is encouraging tourism by highlighting spiritual circuits. Sadly, the casualty is the product called religion and spirituality. It will be interesting to note that until the Mahabharata time, that is 5561 BC, there was no concept of temple worship in Sanatana Dharma. The Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavata mention only of Tirtha Kshetras or pilgrim places like Pushkaram, Prayagam, Kashi, Godavari, that is Nasik, Rishikesham, Kurukshetram, Srirangam, and Setubandhanam. Visit to these pilgrim places was a meritorious deed in those days. Ramayana does not even talk about the Tirtha Kshetras. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, the two historical books, do not talk of any of the temples of that time. They have only reference about the yagas and yajnas along with the individual penances by the rishis or those aspiring for some secular returns. The Vedas have no discussion of the deity worship in the temples either. The origin of temple might have been by the turn of the millennium when the yagas and yajnas either became unsustainable or came under the onslaught of the Buddhists. The Agama Shastras, the textbooks that prescribe the temple rituals, temple design, etc., were not part of the Vedas, though they contain some Vedic mantras. They talk of three requirements for a place of pilgrimage: Sthala, Tirtha, and Murti, that is, place, water body, and deity. This again is an evidence of temple worship started with the advent of the Agamas by improving upon the concept of Tirtha Kshetras of Mahabharata time. In any way, it might have caught the imagination of the people as a simple tool to worship God. Except for the spiritual principles contained in the Vedas, the social customs and practices have always seen changes in Sanatana Dharma. The changes were always according to the emerging social and economic realities. They only strengthened and helped it to overcome the challenges of those times. The worship of God through temples caught the imagination, so much so that they have started seeing the wood for the trees. It is here the danger lies. To avoid any such pitfalls, Bhagavan Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita has laid down the golden rule. It urges one to follow the scriptures alone as a guide in determining what is right and wrong. Tasma Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastito. Chapter 16, Sloka 24. Gita also warns that anybody going against the injunctions of the scriptures by acting as per his sweet will not attain his secular or spiritual goals. Yashastra Vidhi Musrajya Vartate Kamakarata. Chapter 16, Sloka 24. This is especially important when one carry on things swayed by the imagined idea of bhakti. As we have seen in the earlier episode, Srimad Bhagavad Gita talks of only two nishtas, that is, path for the spiritual journey towards the human goal. One, Jnana Yoga, two, Karma Yoga. Referring to that, the 12th chapter of the Gita starts with Arjuna's question: of the two devotees, who is better, Karma Yogi, who does the selfless actions even as he thinks of you as one with form, immanent in each living being, or the Jnana Yogi, who remain engrossed in your meditation as formless, all-pervading, supreme reality at all time. Evam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate. Chapter 12, Sloka 1. By detailing the process involved in the Jnana Yoga, Maya Veshya Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate, Chapter 12, Sloka 2, Bhagavan Krishna informs that as the best of the two paths. He then again describes more on the steps and the object of their worship, who fully controlled their senses, even minded towards all, devoted to the welfare of all being, constantly adoring me as their very self, the unthinkable, indestructible, indefinable, eternal, immovable, unmanifested, and changeless Brahman. ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्. Chapter 12, Sloka 3 and 4. He then says that Jnana path is very difficult. Kleshodikadarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. Chapter 12, Sloka 4. On the other hand, listing out the process in the path of Karma Yoga, like who depends on me, surrendering all actions to me, worship constantly with single-minded devotion. Bhagavan says, I give them the moksha. Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara. Chapter 12, Sloka 6 and 7. It is an assurance that followers of karma yoga also reach the same goal as the Jnana Yoga followers. To reassure, just in case anyone finding that path also difficult, Bhagavan Krishna asked them to limit their attention to just two. One, perform action for my sake. Abhyase pyasamarthosi matkarma paramo bhava. Madartham abhikarmani kurvan siddhim avapyasi. 2. Give up fruits of action. Ateitatapyasaktosi kartum madhyogamasrita sarva karma phalatyagam data kuryatatmavan. Chapter 12, Sloka 11. Those two steps again only reiterates Bhagavan was only referring to the first principles of Karma Yoga. Karmanye vadikaraste. Nowhere the bhakti as the path for the final realization is mentioned in the Gita. But bhakti is only common attitude needed for both the paths. This being the fact, people interpreting bhakti as a nishtha or path for the spiritual progress become strange. The confusion is so much that they do not stop there. They also speak of Vishada also as one of the 18 types of yogas that Srimad Bhagavad Gita contains. This problem and confusion was because of interpreting the word yoga as a path. The right meaning of yoga in that context is only chapter. Yoga in Sanskrit also means sangati or topic. Problem was when interpreting it as a path when it meant only chapter. Thus the word yoga in Bhagavad Gita only means chapter, not a path. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters and not 18 paths or 18 types of yoga as it was made out to be by some. Bhakti, according to the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, is only a mental trait or qualification required to progress in the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Bhakti, if properly analyzed, is only an intense commitment or intense love to a subject or path taken up. Narada Bhakti Sutrams reconfirms it when it defines Bhakti as Sa Tasmin Parama Prema Swarupa, that is, Bhakti is an intense love for God. It is our common experience that efforts, unless backed by continuous and high level of commitment, hardly fetches any results. This is true in every situation, kitchen to classrooms, office to battlefields, playing field to agricultural fields. What finally makes the impact is the intensity of one's commitment in the work. A student without commitment to his studies, a player without commitment to his play, a professional without commitment to his profession will be only whiling away his time. Thus, for the person choosing the path of Karma Yoga, Bhakti creates intense commitment to the actions that he performs. For the person choosing Jnana Yoga, the same Bhakti ensures intense discrimination between the real and the unreal in the world around. For both, Bhakti is a catalyst in the process. Depending upon the quality or intensity of that bhakti, the progress in the path gets speeded up. That intensity brings mental evolution that cannot be observed or measured objectively. Srimad Bhagavad Gita lists out over 38 characteristics as the signs of bhakti. By repeatedly telling that such a person is dear to me, Bhagavan Krishna is only showcasing the signs of that person who has reached the ultimate state of moksha. Those listed sublime characteristics also helps as a checklist to compare both qualitatively and quantitatively when it comes to one's bhakti or commitment to the path. Instead of saying I am a devotee of Bhagavan Krishna, it is high time to ask whether Bhagavan Krishna will consider me as his devotee at all. That question will make internalize more of such qualities that will make one a devotee. Bhagavan Krishna himself has listed out 38 characteristics of people dear to him with such a beautiful words like Madbhakta Same Priya. He is my devotee, he is dear to me. Bhagavan Krishna has repeated that statement 5 times, shows how he holds such people dear to his heart. Now, let us see some of the qualities that Bhagavan Krishna has listed out as qualities of a devotee. Madbhakta Samepriya, he is my devotee, he is dear to me. The list starts with beautiful sloka. Adveshta sarvabhutana maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara sama dukkha sukha kshami. Chapter 12, sloka 13 to Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni Santushto Yena Kenachit Aniketa Sthiramatir Bhaktiman Yo Same Priya. Chapter 12, Sloka 19. 1. Sarvabhutanam Adveshta. 2. Maitri. 3. Karuna. 4. Nirmamaha. 5. Nirahankaraha. 6. Samadukha Sukha. 7. Kshami. 8. Yogi. 9. Santushta Satatam. 10. Yatatma. 11. Drida Nishchaya. 12. Mai Arpita Mana Buddhi. 13. Yasman Na Udvijate Loko. 14. Lokan No Udvijate Chaya. 15. Harsha Marsha Bhayadveger Mukta. 16. Anapeksha 17. Suchir. 18. Daksha. 19. Udasinaha. 20. Gatavyataha. 21. Sarvaramba Parityagi. 22. Yona Hrishyati. 23. Na Dveshti. 24. Na Sochati. 25. Na Kamshati. 26. Shubha Shubha Parityagi. 27. Bhaktiman. 28. Sama Shatro cha Mitro cha. 29. Sama Mana Apamana. 30. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Sama. 31. Sama Sangha Vivarjita. 32. Tulya Ninda Stutir. 33. Mauni. 34. Santushta. 35. Yena Kena Chit. 36. Aniketaha. 37. Sthiramatir. 38. Bhaktiman. Thus, after the search in the right place, when the right understanding comes, it puts sense into one. It makes him earnestly strive for becoming a real devotee that Bhagavan Krishna will accept as Madbhakta Samepriya. That will put sense into the person from desisting from most of the things that he does now. Then only his journey in the path of evolution start.